Hello, hello, hello. So, right, okay, my brightness on. Hello. I'm about to do my stream on Facebook Live. I'm live on Facebook right now. All right. Okay, bye. I'm sorry, turn my ringer off. Hello, Kimberly. How you doing? I'm glad to see you guys again. I was worried. How you doing? My face looks swollen. Hey, Asia. Welcome. How you doing today? Oh, Kenny. Hey, Kenny. I'm going to be talking about nutrition and mental health. And I'm about to get started here because last time I was only coming on for a quick thing, but I ended up being on here for an hour and a half. So you doing good? That's good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. One day at a time, sister. One day at a time. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to get into this mental health conversation. Hey, Anthony. Yeah. Can you bring my box of Kleenex off my dresser? I feel like my allergies is... Raylisha, hello, my love. How you doing? Happy Saturday. I'm going to be talking about mental health and nutrition. So hopefully you'll learn something new that you can use when you go to the grocery store and buy food. And we're going to learn how to read labels off of packages. That's the important thing is education around food labels. You see it? I need to get some Kleenex. Oh no, I said a Kleenex. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll get it. Okay. We will be in Texas if it was good. It'll be good to see you guys. You're supposed to have been back by now. You're supposed to have been back. All right. So I'm gonna get into it. So I'm not a nutritionist. I can't tell you how to manage your diet or anything like that. But I am a nurse, and I do come from a science background to give you more information about where I'm coming from. So if you do have any questions or concerns, you can inbox me and I'll see if I can help you. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so mental health and the food that we eat plays a huge impact on our behavior. Hey, Maggie. So a lot of times we don't know that the food we put into our body, all the things that's in it and what it's causing to happen to us. So this book that I have now is called Hood Health, the Hood Health Handbook. So this book talks about diet and nutrition, and it's mostly related to the urban community, and it was foreword by Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory is amazing. So this is the book that I'm going to be going through, and I also have some other resources that I'm going to go over with you guys. Okay, so first thing I'm going to talk about is processed foods. So processed foods is is anything that is changed from its original, from its natural stance. So it was made in a factory or in a lab. It's considered to be processed. So to keep it simple, think grown or made. Natural foods come from whatever you find in nature. If it wasn't found in nature, then most likely it's been processed. So what happens when we eat processed foods? So it's our body's job to break down foods as they go into our body. Okay, once we eat it, our body is going to break the food down and it's going to extract nutrients and it's going to extract energy as well. Once our body is done processing what's left over, and then you have what's considered crap or waste. Once the waste is there, the waste is excreted from our body, okay? So think about this. You're eating something that's processed, okay? It's been processed. And then once your body absorbs all the nutrients, it's gonna go out. So think about, you're eating something that has no nutritional value. What's gonna happen? It's gonna just be excreted out of your body. And food is excreted out of your body in many ways. You know, some foods is excreted through your skin. Some is, you know, it's all metabolized through your body, but some is excreted through your skin. So if you're eating a lot of processed foods, you may start to have more oily skin because you're putting more junk than nutrients in your body. So if you don't need it, your body is going to get rid of it. So foods that's been processed has already been stripped of the natural components. So I'm gonna get down into some of what happens when they strip the food. So the first thing is we look at the enriched flour, right? Enriched bleached flour. So most breads, cereals, and granola bars are made from enriched bleached flour, okay? So if you have something that's been bleached and stripped, that means that it is taking the white parts of the nutrients, or taking the value of the nutrients that's in the food and taking them out. They're being stripped of the nutritional value. So when you get something that is bleached, that means that the nutritional value has been stripped from there. So they take the nutritional value out of there, right? They strip it out, they bleach it, and then they add in artificial or synthetic vitamins. And they say, oh yes, this is vitamin C enriched. This is enriched in this, it's enriched in that. And they have to tell you that because it's not natural. Now, I'm gonna give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. So that way, when you're out in the store, you start looking at these food labels. Because what's in this food is what is killing us and making us sick. Okay. So this right here, I have a package of boneless wings. I want you guys to see this. This is, sorry. Let me turn off this light. Give me a second. Okay. All right, so this is a pretty popular brand of, this is buffalo chicken strips. My son loved these strips. Okay, let's look at the front of there. So look right here where it says no antibiotics ever. All right, so this says no antibiotics, no preservatives, no added hormones or steroids. Now you see right here on this label, let me see if I can get this to focus right. There's an asterisk. There's an asterisk right there. And because it has an asterisk right here, it tells us that there's more information. I'm sorry, this is terrible. Okay, so that means there's more information about this claim. Okay, so we have to go find out what information are they trying to tell us that they can't put on the front that this asterisk means. All right. So let's see what else on here. Made with white chicken meat, 0 trans fat. Who knows what trans fat is? We'll talk about trans fat. All right, so let's look at the label. So this is the nutritional label, right? This tells us everything that is in this. But we're going to focus on this part right here. This is the meat and potatoes of what's in this. Now, you see the first ingredients on this is the main ingredient. So when you look in at ingredient labels and see where it says ingredient, that's what we care about. You look at the ingredient labels. Okay, so the first thing in here is boneless, skinless chicken breasts with rib meat, okay? The chicken broth, and you see where it says bleached wheat flour, okay? The flour in here has been bleached, which means it's been stripped. It says it on here. You have to look for it. It tells you what that means. Okay, so we saw that there was a asterisk about the hormones. Let me flip this back around. So we saw that there was an asterisk about the hormone in the steroids. Okay, so it tells me down at the bottom, and it says federal, like when you get your package, it says federal regulations prohibit the use of hormones or steroids in chicken. Okay, so it says that the federal regulations permit them from using hormones and steroids in poultry or in chicken. It's not for everything. So we're going to talk about that. So everybody's seen the label. All right, so that's the first part. So that's what enriched bleach flour. So when you go to the store and you see that, you know that this has been stripped of its nutritional value, okay? And so that enriched flour is going to be mostly for the breading. So the breading that's on the chicken strip has been stripped. Okay, so let me show you this. All right, so this is some Sara Lee honey wheat, my favorite bread. And I'm going to show you guys this. This is another one that would have a flour base. We want to see what the flour base is. We don't want bleach flour. All right. So for the bread also has a label, and you see the first thing on here, the main ingredients is enriched wheat flour. Okay, it's got enriched flour. So when it's enriched, they added more iron to it, niacin, thiamine, and this is B12. So you see when it says enriched, that means that they've added more vitamins to this. Now, if you have enriched bread that's had more vitamins added to it and you don't need the vitamins, your body is just going to get rid of them. So let's say that your vitamin level for vitamin D is at 300 and you take in some extra vitamin and your maximum vitamin level is 300, your body is just going to excrete the excess vitamins. Now, one of the things to look at the bread label, as you see right here where it says no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial colors or flavors. This is important. You don't want no sugar in your bread. This is sugar. You don't want artificial colors or flavors. Artificial colors and flavors are bad. I want to talk more about why they're bad. So look to make sure that they don't have this, that they don't have artificial colors and they don't have sugar. All right, this is my regular bread. I'm eating me a sandwich tomorrow, so I'm going to put this back up. All right, so that's the flour. No, where is I love you, Kim. Okay, so let's get to sugars. So sugars is going to be the same thing. You start with sugar cane, okay? So you start with the sugar cane, and then you end up with a white powdery drug, is what it is. A white powdery drug with no nutritional value beyond the calories that you're getting. And they put in everything. Everything has sugar. Don't be surprised when you see fructose. Fructose is sugar. When you see fructose, know that this is sugar, okay? It may not say fructose sugar, but if you see fructose, it's considered to be sugar. The average American child consumes 5 pounds of sugar a week. 5 pounds of sugar, okay? So sugar is in everything from canned soups to salad dressings, okay? So if you can't find sugar in it, like I said before, you're going to see the words high fructose corn syrup. Be careful of that. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so not on this one. All right, so this is Hawaiian Punch. We're gonna look at this Hawaiian Punch labels. Okay, so this one is really important that I want us to understand about this label. Okay, so let's look at the Hawaiian Punch label. Okay, so first of all, you see the Hawaiian Punch label. It says an excellent source of vitamin C per 8 ounces. Okay, that's the first claim that's on here. Let's see if we got any other claims. Okay, look right here. It says it has natural and artificial kiwi strawberry. Okay, natural and artificial. It tells you that on the label. Real and fake. From nature, from the factory. All right, so let's look at this right here. This is the right to the front. All right, so how much juice is in this? So this is supposed to be green berry, whatever, rush with kiwi strawberry. But it tells us right here that this, can it focus? Okay, this only has 3% juice. 3%. So this big old container, only 3% of this container is made with natural juice. 97% of this bottle is made with fake stuff. All right, so let's look at this. The label. What's the first thing in here? Water. The main ingredients is the first one, and the first ingredients is what's the majority of the container. So the very first thing that it says is the majority of what's inside the container. So this tells us that the majority of this is made of water. So first of all, you got this big bottle, only 3% of it is actual juice, and 97% of it is made with fake stuff and water. Okay, and y'all get this to y'all kids. I gave this to my son, and I drank some too. It was good. It was good. It was real sweet too. All right, so let's see. All right, here we go. High fructose corn syrup. There you go right there. There's your sugar. And then they got a little bit of, there's the juices they put. They got some apple certified pineapples, okay? So it tells you on the label what's in here. And I'm going to get into the colors because it got some color stuff in here. Now, look, this says right here, not a significant source of saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, dietary fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, or potassium. This is telling us that this bottle does not have any of this. No saturated fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol, no dietary fiber, no vitamin D, no calcium, no iron, and no potassium. But it tells us that it's rich in vitamin C. So where is the vitamin C coming from? Where is the vitamin C? So the vitamin C that we're getting from this is going to be coming from the concentrated oranges, because oranges have vitamin C. So they put a little bit of orange juice in here so they can put on the front of the label that it's an excellent source of vitamin C. But you're giving this to your family, but it's just full of sugar. It's just full of sugar. Now, when you're selecting juices for your family, you know, natural juices are better, or natural fruits. If you're going to juice something, you buy fruits and you juice them at home. That's the best way to do it. Everybody can do that. So let's look at this right here. This is one of my favorite drinks. So this is a white grape juice, okay? White grape juice. We see on the front, no added sugar. And it's got 2 asterisks right here to tell us that there's some more information about that. 100% vitamin C of daily value. Oh, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more so we can understand that, okay? Hey, Talisha. I miss you too. Okay, so with this white grape juice, all of this juice is coming from concentrated, which means that it probably was frozen from its original state and then transferred, or it was modified. All right, so let's look at this. Wait, what was I going to say about the 100? Okay, so nutritional value. So what this is saying right here for the nutritional value is that, let me see, vitamin C requirements. Hey, Kendra. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this. All right, so this is from Google, and it says for adults, the recommended daily amount for vitamin C is 65 to 90 milligrams, okay? And this is based on a 2,000 milligrams per day diet. So 65 to 90 milligrams, okay? And we look at this label. So this basically is saying that every day, in order to have a healthy body and get your daily requirements of vitamins, minerals, okay, it says that you should have 65 to 90 milligrams. And we're going to look at this label. And we're talking about, this one, it said vitamin C. So let's see with the vitamin C. So let's look at the vitamins on this one. Right here. So we have vitamin D, 0. Calcium, 0. Iron, 0. Potassium, 21 grams. Vitamin C, 90 grams. So they put just enough vitamin C in here to reach the daily requirements for the adult, okay? But the thing about it is that we have to look at this serving package, okay? So if this container right here, it has 96 fluid ounces, right? 96 fluid ounces. And within this container is 12 servings. It's 12 servings, which means that you can make 8 glasses of this 12 times. Once you make 8 glasses, you're going to get the 900 and whatever 96 mLs that it was, milliliters. Okay, so, but you have to drink a full 8-ounce glass in order to get your daily serving of vitamin C. This is the only one that is giving you vitamin C. Okay, so that is a 100% juice. And then we see what the main ingredient was for the 100% juice. All right, so the main ingredient for this we see is grape juice from concentrated. So it's been changed from the original grape. But we see that water is right here. Water, grape juice, absorbic acid, potassium, citrate, and then it's got some sulfates in it. So you saw on the Hawaiian Punch, which I want to make this, want y'all to see the difference, is with the Hawaiian Punch, the first ingredients was what? Water, and then sugar. Hawaiian Punch, we got water first, and then a bunch of sugar. And with our 100% juice, and it says 100% on the container, and up here it says as well, contains 100% juice. This one contains 3% juice. All right, so that's it for the sugars and how to identify the different types of sugars. All right, so the next part of the processed foods, we're talking about processed foods. So the first part of the processed foods was the enriched bleached flour. Look for flour that is unbleached. So when it says that when it's bleached, that means it's been stripped of its nutritional values and it has it's not going to give you any nutritional value, which is what your body needs. We should be eating to live, and eating stuff that's processed and doesn't have any nutritional value, you're not eating to live. Okay, so partially hydrogenated oils. This is the most unhealthiest and cheapest oils that you can put in food. It's full of trans fat. 1 gram of trans fat will increase your risk for heart disease by 20% for that day. So if you go and you eat trans fat. So I'm going to tell you trans fat. So trans fat is going to be your butters. So butter. So when you go to the store and buy butter, butter is full of trans fat. Margarine is a more healthier choice because margarine is made from oil. I mean, not from the oil, but margarine is made from the I'm gonna tell you because I'm trying to make sure I say it right. Margarine is made from it's natural because it comes from the I'm gonna tell you, I can't remember exactly the words. Okay, so trans fat. So foods that are high in trans fat is what we want to stay away from. Baked goods, cakes, cookies, pies, microwave popcorn, frozen pizza, refrigerated dough, non-dairy foods, biscuits, rolls, non-dairy coffee creamer, fried foods, french fries, donuts, and fried chicken. So this is just examples of the things that are high in trans fat. Now, you can eat trans fat. It's okay to eat trans fat. But when you eat trans fat on a regular basis, it's going to kill you. So just imagine that if you're eating, so we said if you eat, so the statement was 1 gram of trans fat will raise your risk of heart disease by 20%. So if you take 2 grams of trans fat, you're going to raise your risk of heart disease by 20%. Okay, so this is why people is having blood pressure and heart attacks and strokes, is because what we're putting into our bodies. What we put into our bodies make a difference in our behavior, in our mood, and how we feel. All right, so look for food that has high trans fat. And did I bring something that's had high trans fat? I'm gonna get my butter. Okay, so I want you guys to see this. So this is what I use, okay? And I'm gonna show you guys how to look at the label for when you're looking for foods that don't have high hydrogenated oils. Hydrogenated oils, we just said, is the worst thing that you can put into your body. All right, so let's look at this label. So first of all, one of the things that stands out is that this has the American Heart Association label on it. It means that the American Heart Association said that this meets the criteria for a healthy heart. Very important. Okay, and it says good fats made from plant-based oils. It's coming from a natural oil. Plant-based is natural. It's not made in a factory. It's made from plants. Okay, let's see if it has any claims about how good it is for you. So there's nothing on here that says this is good for you, it's amazing, you need to eat it, okay? So this one contains omega-3, and it tells us when we look at the label what omega-3 is. 395 milligrams of omega-3. All right, so we look at this right here. This is nutritional facts. Now, you see right here where the saturated fats, right there. So the total fats in this is 6 grams, which is 8%, the daily value. So let me see, this right here, so we talked about our daily value. So each vitamin and mineral that is recommended for adults is going to be the percentage, okay? So if your total fat for the day, this is going to give you 8% of your total fat for the day, okay? So if you take 1 teaspoon of this, it's going to be 8% of what you need. If you take 2 teaspoons of it, it's going to be 16, and so forth and so forth. Now, this right here is the saturated fat is 2 grams. Trans fat, 0. We don't want trans fat. This is good. Polysaturated fat, 3 grams. This is good. Monosaturated fats, 1.5. This is still good. Now, we got some sodium in here. Sodium is salt. Sodium is salt. So this is 4%. We have a nutritional value for salt as well. So this right here is 90 milligrams of salt. So if you took 2 teaspoons of this to get 16% of your daily fat, that means that you're going to have this right here is going to be double for how much sodium that you're getting. So every time you double on this, this doubles as well. So this doesn't have any protein, and then it has vitamin A. So this has no trans fat. We said that, and that's good. So this is what and it shows you no hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils. I can't believe it's not butter, and then regular butter. Saturated fat, 2 grams, and butter has 7 grams. And then we also know that butter has trans fat, which is bad. So I'm not promoting, I can't believe it's not butter, but what I am promoting is that you look at the labels and read what they say, because you only can make better food decisions through education. Anthony, come put this butter back for me. So those are oils. Okay, so that's trans fat. So I'm talking about right now about processed foods. If you're just joining me, thank you for coming in. I'm talking about mental health and nutrition. And I'm starting my discussion with going over the nutritional processed foods, giving examples, showing some labels, and I'm going to tie in how the food that we eat affect our mental health. Okay, so first I talked about enriched bleached flours. Don't buy bread, crackers, cereal. Oh, where's my cereal? Cereal that have been bleached. Because when something is bleached, that means it has been changed from its natural state and is now something else. If you bleach something that's natural, it's no longer natural. The same as your skin. If you go and you bleach your skin is no longer natural. And that means that you're more susceptible to getting skin cancer. You're more likely to get a burn. You're more likely to get an infection because it's not in its natural state. Okay, so I was going to look vitamin D enriched. Okay, so I'm going to show you this guys. This doesn't have any flour, but I want you to see this cereal. All right, so this is a Rice Krispie Treats box. Rice Krispie Treats don't have any fancy labeling about nutritional value. So let's look at the box. Okay, so we're gonna look at the main ingredient first, and this main ingredient is just rice. It has rice in it, sugar, and then it has some salt and malt flavor. And then it talks about the vitamins and minerals in it. So when you're picking cereal for your kids, look and see what vitamins and minerals are in there. This is in Spanish too, but it tells you the vitamins. It's got iron in it. It's got vitamin B6. And then as you go and look at this, it tells you the serving size for a serving size of this is a half a cup. And just for the cereal, 150 calories. So it has the fats. The cereal does not have any fats in it. Okay. The cereal does have sodium, which is salt. And then it has carbohydrates. And then it goes into the proteins. Hello. Hi. My babies are here.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, look. They brought me flowers for Valentine's. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Give me a hug.
Well, really, I did, but you know.
Thank you. Oh, they just surprised me with Valentine's flowers. Yes, I love you. Yes, I love your shirt. Keep it this
Walmart
up.
was packed.
Okay, I'm streaming. You want to say hi? Say
You only got 3 people on this.
so what? Okay, so we're gonna go into so that was another cereal. So I'm gonna go into artificial dyes and flavoring. All right, so this one is the most important one. If you have paper and pen, I suggest you get it so you can write some stuff down. If not, then you probably want to go and take some notes on the artificial dyes. I want to show you my papers for my artificial dyes.
Is this the label you were showing? You were showing them labels?
Finding of them.
Is it
Just a
artificial?
moment.
That's big chicken.
Okay, I'm getting my picture together so I can show you guys what the artificial food looks like. Color labels. Where is it? Okay. Petition closed. Just a moment. I'm sorry, it's taking a minute to get this.
Why you get it out?
Is this the right one? I don't think this is it either. Okay, so artificial food dyes and flavorings contribute to ADHD. This is hyperactivity, wait a minute, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, cancer, and brain damage. 80% of children that have been diagnosed with ADHD who are taken off processed foods have had improvement in their symptoms. So if you have a child that is, okay, wait a minute. If you have a child that is very hyper, or they've been diagnosed with ADHD and they've been on medicines and the medicines is not working, it's the food. It's the food. You have to modify their food. So I'm gonna show you guys what the food dyes look like. But I had a good picture of it. Official flavoring. Bliss. Okay, this is what I need. Carcinogen for this candy. Okay, so it's about 7 different carcinogens used to put in candy, ice cream, beer, and other things. So the FDA permits companies to use these artificial flavors, and the seven artificial flavors that's used. No, this is not. I don't want to get the flavors first. I want to do the colors. The color wheel. Preservatives. I don't know. Where's the red dye? I got a good picture of it. Red number 40. Number 40. Okay, so one of the main food colorings that's put into food, and these are called carcinogens, right, is red dye number 40. So red dye number 40 has been linked to ADHD, okay? It's been linked to ADHD. So you can find red dye number 40 in pie crusts, cereals, some lipsticks, some some Kellogg's cereal, and also a lot of candy. So when I talk about the red dye, so the red dye number 40 causes ADHD, I already said that. Also can cause memory problems, concentration problems just in adults. So if you're having problems with concentration and focusing, you need to eliminate red dyes or artificial dyes and flavorings from your food. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So here is some nacho cheese Doritos. So when we look at the nacho cheese Doritos, now I already know that the nachos don't have any nutritional value, right? It's just junk. So we look at this right here. When you get your food label, you look at the label. So 150 calories is all you getting. So when food does not have nutritional value, all you're going to get is calories, okay? That's all you're getting is calories. When it has nutritional value, it's going to tell you what the nutrition is. All right, so this has trans fat in here, or it doesn't have trans fat, but it has saturated fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, protein. It has some calcium. It doesn't have vitamin D, but it got some potassium in it. All right, so the main ingredient for the Doritos is corn, okay? It's corn in the Doritos. That's the main thing that's in here. Then it has vegetable oil, corn oil, canola, and sunflower. So it goes through all these different things for what's in here. It's got milk, Right here, now look. When you get to the artificial color yellow number 6, yellow 5, and red 40. It tells you in here. Now I just said red 40 causes ADHD. Is a known fact. If you go on to, let's see, we'll look at this. All right, so red dye number 40 is a synthetic color additive or food dye made from petroleum. It is one of the 9 certified food additives approved by the FDA for use in food and beverages. So look, this right here is approved in European Union, but it's also been banned in several places, and several companies don't even use it. Now look, the red dye banned. I'm gonna tell you where it's banned at. I think it's banned in Sweden. Now look right here. This says some dyes may contain cancer-causing contaminants. It says it on here. Red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6. Now I just said on here that this label, yellow 6, yellow 5, and red 40, is telling us if you eat this, you could get cancer. All right, that's the bag of Doritos. Now, what else? I also have a smaller Cool Ranch Doritos. Now I'm gonna look at this one. See. All right, so Cool Ranch. Red number 40, blue number 1, yellow number 5. Well, what does blue number 1 do? I don't know what blue number 1 does. We haven't talked about blue number 1, but let's see what else how blue number 1 is going to kill us. All right, so blue dye number 1 causes allergies, right? This is what it's telling me on here. All right, this is saying right here, what are the side effects of blue number 1? Look, blue 1, red 40, yellow 5, and yellow 6 have long been known to cause allergic reactions in some people. I don't know what the CSPI says, that while those reactions are not common, they can be serious and provide reason enough to ban these dyes. Okay, so if you have a child that has a lot of food, that has allergies, and they are itching and they have eczema, it's because they are eating foods that have artificial flavoring and dyes in them. As a parent, it's your responsibility to look at these food labels and make sure they have the values in the food that your child needs. Again, if you are having a child or you yourself are having focus problems, memory problems, it is because of what you are eating. Check your food. All right, so I'm talking about mental illness and our diets, and mental illness and nutrition. Hi, Auntie. Happy Saturday. How you doing? Okay, so artificial food flavors can cause a lot of problems. Salt. So we're not talking about sea salt. Salt is in a ton of processed foods, okay? They put salt in everything. Salt by itself is natural. Salt by itself is natural. Another thing that you'll see when it comes to salt is sodium. Sodium is the same thing as salt. So if you don't see salt, look for sodium. Good to hear that, Auntie. I'm glad that you stopped by. Okay, so salt is a natural product, but then they put it into everything and it makes us more susceptible to disease, okay? So salt is put into a number of processed foods to preserve it, okay? Is put into foods to preserve it. So instead of your package of meat, instead of your package of meat going bad, they put the preservative in it, which may be salt, to make it last longer. Or for the canned good, you got some canned goods. The canned goods last so long because they have preservatives in it, which is most likely it's a salt. The salt is preserving it's not preserving the nutritional value. The salt is preserving it so it doesn't spoil. It's making it stay fresh longer, if it's fresh. Okay. So it's salt. So the reason why the salt is so bad for you is that the thing about it is that the manufacturers of the food, they buy shelf time at the grocery store. So so you got some Campbell's soup, the Campbell's Soup Company is buying that shelf space, okay? So if they can get their soup to stay on the shelf, or get the shelf, that they own, to have a longer life, a longer shelf life, that's how they get more money. That's how they get more money. It's more profitable because they put in the cheapest ingredients with low quality are more visible. So when you leave in the grocery store and you see all this junk where they put all the candy and all this crackers and cookies, all those things that, can you move?
I'm trying to see the line.
Why? Cause what? Move. I don't want to see you in this. Okay, so I talked about how it's profitable for the company to put salt in the food, because it's not necessarily they're the best product when they up in the front. It's just that they're cheaper and they want people to grab for those bad foods. The most nutritious foods are the foods that the FDA does not require to make any claims. I can't even finish this.
Come on, y'all, let's go.
I get to see mine. Okay, so the FDA does not make any claims about healthy foods. So when you looking at labels, if they have a claim on there about, it doesn't have antibiotics and proteins, the FDA does not require companies to put the nutritional value on their labels. So if they put into this a nutritional value, do more research to see what that nutritional value is. Bye-bye. So there's a process that's called irradiation. Irradiation is a common process where foods are blasted with radiation to eliminate bacteria, mold, and viruses. So you have food that's been blasted. So the blasted food, so it takes away the basic bacteria and viruses that's there, but once it's been blasted from its natural state, it's going to have the possibility to get other bacteria, and other foods are going to grow. So when you have blasted foods that you're eating, 30% to 40% can increase your chances of getting liver cancer. So eating foods that has been irradiated is what it's called, or blasted, increases your chances to getting liver cancer. Now they blast onions and they blast corn. So anywhere of 20 to 80% of a food vitamin is lost when it's blasted. So fruit juices lose more vitamins than fruits, which lose more than vegetables and grains. Vitamin E in particular is so badly damaged when it's blasted that the company adds it back on as an additive. And that's where you'll say that, this has been enriched, right? Because they took away all the vitamins in there and the minerals to make it more safe to eat. And then when they took those off, it increases our risk of getting cancers. And then they want to add the stuff back into it, which is artificial. Okay, so we're talking about processed foods. So when you're eating processed foods, and it's totally different from its original state. So that's like going from, starting with a hot dog or a chicken nugget. So it didn't start off as a hot dog, and it didn't start off as a chicken nugget. So it's been processed, and it's just several steps away from its original form. So if it comes from an animal, and the package says no hormones, then it's probably got hormones in it. And if it doesn't have hormones in it, then it's probably got antibiotics in it. And the thing about the antibiotics in the food is that when you are eating food that's full of antibiotics, okay, and then you get sick and you need some antibiotics, the antibiotics is not going to work and you're going to need something more stronger. So instead of you starting out with antibiotic number 1, which is more safer, more efficient, they give an antibiotic number 1 to the animals. Okay, so the animals already have that antibiotic. So now when you get sick, you're going to have to go to antibiotic number 2, which is the next strongest one. But depending on how much food you're eating with antibiotics in it, you may have to go to antibiotic number 3 or number 4. And this is called antibiotic resistance. Okay, people develop antibiotic resistance all the time because of our diet. And I'm going to show you a package of turkey. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some food labeling for some meat. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't eat red meat, I don't eat beef, and I don't eat pork. Now, but my son, he does eat beef and he does eat pork. So this right here is, I'm going to show you this turkey. All right, so this is honeysuckle. This is sweet Italian turkey sausage. I love these, one of my favorite. All right, so let's look at this. Let's look at this label. So it says that there are no added hormones or steroids, no growth promoting antibiotics. Now look right here where it says right here, antibiotics responsibly used only when needed for the treatment or prevention of illness. It tells us on the label that they're not going to put antibiotics that's going to make the food bigger. Okay, they're not putting antibiotics that's going to not make the food bigger. That's the steroids is what makes it bigger. They're not going to put antibiotics in here if it's growth promoting. They're only going to put antibiotics in here if the animals are sick or to prevent illness. So it could be that some antibiotics is in this meat right now. Now, when I eat this, I'm putting the antibiotics that's in the meat into my body. All right, so this also says that turkeys raised with no added hormones or steroids. So it says federal regulations prohibit the use of hormones or steroids in poultry. This is just for poultry. It doesn't mean it for beef. No preservatives, keep refrigerated. All right, so this goes over the nutritional values and the calories. Look at our ingredients. Turkey, water, salt. Salt is our preservative. Corn syrup solids. We got sugar in here. We got spices, dextrose, paprika, spice extract, natural pork casing. Okay, so I don't eat pork. And so I didn't know that this had pork casings on it. So now I can't eat these. The nutritional. So one sausage link is 180 calories. So like I said before, that this has 5 servings in it, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each one is a serving. So if you eat just one of these, it's going to be 180 calories. And if you eat 2, you multiply. Each one of these right here is going to be multiplied times how many you eat. All right, so let's look at this one right here. So this is a pack of hot dogs, and it says it's made with chicken and pork. Let's see what the real ingredients are. Mechanically separated chicken, pork, and water. So we see the first ingredient in here is chicken. So we know that majority of this package contains chicken, and then the next one is going to be pork, and then the next one is water. And there go our corn syrup. We got sugar in here. We got modified food starch. And then it goes into all the other, got salt. We talked about salt for preservatives. It's got beef. Now look, they got a little bit of beef in it right there. Now why I didn't say it had beef up here, right? It says chicken and pork. But when you go and look down at the ingredients, right here, it's got beef. There's our sugar again. So we got corn syrup plus sugar. And then some other spices. Now look, they want to put their little labels on here. Free of the following food allergens. No milk, no eggs, no nuts, no fish, no soy, no wheat. Okay. That's that wheat. Oh, I thought it went off. Okay. I think I'm almost finished. I've been on here for a while. Okay, so kosher food. So you see labels that have kosher on it, and you think that, okay, that must be better. Well, the only thing about kosher foods or kosher labels, it means that the food does not have pork in it, and it's been labeled, it's been prepared in a way that is certified by the kosher agency, which means that it meets the requirements for Islam or Judaism. So if somebody is Islamic and they want foods that were prepared based on the way that their custom is, then they get food that says kosher food. It doesn't mean that it's healthy, doesn't mean that it's better for you. It just means that it was prepared in a way that honors tradition. If that's your tradition. Okay, I think I got one more. Okay, so I'm gonna get into beef, and then I think that's gonna be it. So the first part of mental illness and nutrition is be mindful of what you put into your body, because a lot of additives and preservatives in foods can cause ADHD, cancer, lots of cancers, ADHD, cancer, liver damage, confusion, memory loss. Go look it up. Go do your own research. If you don't take my word for it, go do your own research and find out. And this is mostly for people that are having issues and not sure why they're having issues, or maybe your doctor wants your child to go on medication. Try the diet first. All right, let's get into beef. So the FDA, which is the Food and Drug Administration, they approved in 1987, they approved for farmers to add ammonia hydroxide to beef. Okay, so this is the breakdown of it. So cattle should be in a field, eating grass and grazing. That's what they do. They eat grass and they graze. But the farmers are now putting the cattle in a warehouse, and they're feeding them corn. So you have a cattle that's in a warehouse that's eating corn. Okay, what's bad about that? Well, the cattle is not meant to digest corn. They're not meant. They don't break down corn properly. It's not the natural thing that they're supposed to eat. Okay, so because it's not a natural thing for the cattle to eat, the digestion is slowed down in the animal. Okay, so the digestion is slowed down. So instead of the corn being digested and broken down and having all the nutritional values for the corn, it just kind of sits in the gut. The corn sits in the gut of the cow. And so they noticed that once the corn was sitting in the guts of the cow, E. coli was developing in humans when they ate the cow that was eating the corn. Okay, so the farmer said, you know, what can we do about this? Because we can't keep allowing people to get sick because nobody's going to eat it once they know that it's causing E. coli. So what they did was they went to the FDA and said, you know, we want to wash the meat. They want to wash the meat. So not only are they taking the ground beef, which is processed by sweeping the scrapes of cow flesh from the slaughterhouse floors. So you got cows hanging up in the slaughter warehouse. They cutting them, taking off the meats, the different parts, the shoulders, the, you know, whatever, all the piece they cut of the cow. Not the cow, the cattle. The cattle was being cut. So once the cattle was cut up and all the best parts of it is moved forward to distribute, what's left on the ground is going to be scraped up. Go read about it. Go read about how ground beef is processed. It's going to be scraped up off the ground. This is the cow's flesh, scraped up off the ground. Then it's pulverized into a paste. And then the paste is sent through a maze of tubing where it is washed with ammonia hydroxide, which kills the E. coli. Okay, so you got food that's being washed with ammonia. What do you think that ammonia is going to do to your body? All right, so let's look at this. All right, this is just from the internet. Ammonia hydroxide causes skin irritations. Contact can lead to severe irritation and burns. Indigestion can cause vomiting, nausea, gastric irritation, and in severe cases, proliferation. So this is when the intestines actually fall out of the body. They can cause nervous system depression, central nervous system depression, shock, convulsions, and pulmonary edema. This is swelling of the lungs, okay? This is working with it. But when you think about it in the body, okay, so this is part about where it talks about the central nervous system. So when excessive amounts of ammonia enter the central nervous system, the brain's defenses are severely challenged. Complex molecular chain reaction is triggered when the brain is exposed to excessive amounts of ammonia. Okay, so think about this. Now, the ammonia hydroxide that's being washed with the beef is not a high amount of it. But think about the person that eat beef 3-4 times a day. You eat beef in the morning, you got a beef patty or whatever it is. You eat beef in the afternoon, you have a hamburger. You eat beef in the evening, you have a piece of red meat. So you are putting a lot more of ammonia into your body than you may be realizing. And if you think that your meat is not affected by the ammonia hydroxide, listen to this. It is now, as of the writing of this book, and this book that I'm reading from is called Hood Health, and this book was published in this book is from 2010. So this book is from 2010. So in 2010, it said that 70% of all ground beef in the U.S. is being washed in ammonia hydroxide. So as of this, so this said that it said within 5 years that 100% of the meat is being washed in ammonium hydroxide. So if this information is correct, and I go back and look, it is now that all of the beef that is being consumed in the United States is being washed. So there's a FDA microbiologist, and he talks about how when they wash the beef with the ammonia hydroxide, it creates what's called a pink slime. A pink slime. I'm not making this up. This is real. Go look it up. Go look up pink slime on meat. That is the effects of the ammonia hydroxide on the meat. Okay, look at this. All right, see where it says pink slime? In December 2018, quietly reclassified lean, finely textured beef, which some derived as pink slime, as ground beef. So go look and read about pink slime and see what the pink slime does when it's consumed. And this right here is see right here, if you can see this, approximately 70%, right here, approximately 70% of all ground beef is sold that has additives and slime in it, that slime. Okay, so the dangers of meat. So meat causes heart disease because it has a lot of cholesterol, and cholesterol is a compound that's only found in animals. Okay, and you have to be mindful of your cholesterol, because what happens is that when you are consuming a lot of meats, you get plaque. Plaque builds up in your arteries, and it builds up in the veins. And once the plaque builds up, you subject yourself to a stroke or heart attack. So every time that you are consuming beef or you consuming meat, every time you're consuming meat, you are adding plaque to your vessels. Oh, okay, I'm gonna show vessels from, okay, I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. Images. All right, so when we look at this right here, so generally when your vessels are healthy, so this is the healthy blood vessel, right? This is the blood that's going through it. Those are red blood cells that's going through it. This is plaque. This is a build up of cholesterol on this vein. And so you see, only a little bit is going through. This is a total block right here. This somebody gonna need surgery. This person gonna have a heart attack or a stroke because it's being occluded. And it's being occluded, all this right here is because it is a build up of plaque. And that's from eating meat. And they have to go in, the doctors, this is the vessel, they take they go in and they gotta clean all that out, clean all of it out. And if the vessel is badly damaged, people have to have a bypass. They have to take that vessel out, is bad. And they have to find another vessel to attach it so that blood can flow healthy. So if you are eating a lot of meat your cholesterol is probably going to be high. If you had your cholesterol checked and the doctor said your cholesterol was high, then more likely you got some plaque buildup in your vessels. They can sometimes give you a cholesterol pill that lowers the plaque, but it's got to be for, extenuating circumstances for that to happen. And if people don't go to the doctor, so then you don't even know that your cholesterol is high, which means that you basically killing yourself by eating, and then you don't know that you're killing yourself by eating the meat. So meat and cancers. The most common type of cancers affecting Americans today is breast cancer among women, colon rectal cancer, prostate cancer among men, and lung cancer. Now, all of these cancers can be fatal. However, when a person chooses a plant-based diet instead of a meat-based diet, the occurrence of these diseases are rare. Now, you may still get a cancer. But when you eat red meat, it's going to go up. So the World Health Organization, or the WHO, says that 30% of all cancers in the Western countries are diet related. Diet related. Okay, so the most obvious factor for the meat is that there's no fiber, and it lacks other nutritions that you can get from similar things. So meat does contain animal protein, which is saturated fats, and other carcinogens, which is cancer-causing factors. And the carcinogens we talked about was the food dyes and the artificial flavoring. Okay, so consuming high-fat foods such as meats, dairy products, eggs, fried foods, and vegetable oil can cause a woman's body to produce excess amounts of estrogen. So when the woman is eating a lot of meat, a lot of dairy products, eggs, fried foods all the time, she is more likely to get cancer because it's going to make her produce more estrogen. Okay, is facts. Go look it up. So this means that if a woman avoided foods that are high in fat throughout her life, the risk of developing a hormone-related cancer decreases. So men suffer similar risks, but the difference is that it's with fatty acids. So fatty acids in men produces high testosterone, and high testosterone produces prostate cancer as a result, plus adding, when you eat the meats, it increases testosterone. Okay. So no matter the form of cancer or the heart disease, when you are going to the doctor and you having medical issues, they are not going to tell you to look at your diet. They're going to give you some medicine. They're going to run some tests. They may even offer some interventions, or, you may have to have surgery. But they're not going to tell you to change your diet. They don't have time for that. They don't have time for that. So I'm telling you that you need to change your diet. Okay. So I am finished talking about nutrition and mental health. I hope that if you came and listened to my stream, that you learned something. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section, and I will be sure to respond to your question. All right, everybody, have a good day. I'm out.